Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to be sharing this today. As we get started, make sure you're comfortable, make sure you can hear me, and if you're a note taker, grab a pen and paper. There's a lot packed into today's session. We live in a society where burnout feels inevitable. In fact, some people seem to wear it as a badge of honor. We surround ourselves with ambitious, intelligent, and inspiring people. And it is so hard not to make assumptions, not to make comparisons, and not to push ourselves beyond our limits. So many of my clients who lead inspiring teams have gone through periods of being stretched too thin and losing their motivation. By recognizing the burnout they were feeling and acknowledging how it was impacting them, they were able to limit or even stop not only the onslaught of burnout, but manage the causes. They use tools to reset and rekindle their energy and their joy, and you can too. In November of 2020, my newish husband and I drove across the country to see our families. Despite the pandemic, we were doing great. We had good jobs, we had a comfortable home, and an adorable new puppy. Nobody knew that this picture was not at all an accurate depiction of my reality. I felt more like this: stuck, sad, lonely, and tired. I'd built a successful career in some of the world's largest and most well-known companies, and yet I didn't feel inspired by the work I was doing. The pandemic gave me all the time in the world to take care of myself, and yet I still felt weighed down. I was making commitments to my loved ones, to my community, my colleagues, and even to myself that I couldn't or really didn't want to keep. Well, December rolled around, and somewhere deep in the rural Midwest, as we drove to the East Coast, we found out I was pregnant. If I thought I was tired before, I had no idea. I could barely make it out of bed for 2 months. Thank goodness for virtual meetings. Although being in bed for that long gave me a lot of time to think. I realized that many of the things I was striving for were not serving me. They were simply burning me out. If I was going to take care of an entirely new human, I needed to figure out how to take care of myself so that I could have the energy and the drive to be a good parent and a happy person. I did a lot of reading. I watched videos and webinars on burnout and reached out to my network, leaning heavily on friends who were coaches, team leaders, and people who ran transformational organizations. And I am thrilled to share the burnout avoidance tool that I pulled together after those conversations, which have served me and have served my clients with you. So who is this class for? It's for the go-getters, the seasoned professionals, the superheroes, people like you and me who are, quote, doing all the right things, end quote, and despite that, feel like what they've built could come tumbling down at any moment. The foundation to what used to be a successful career and a happy life feels shaky, and maybe the future feels uncertain. This course is for anyone who is ready to do the things that really matter to you. If you're ready to enjoy and advance your career, have meaningful time with the people you love, and take care of yourself, this is a really great place to start. In 2019, burnout was classified as an occupational phenomenon that influences health status. What does that mean? It means burnout was recognized as something that stemmed primarily from stress at work, although it also impacted a person's overall well-being. Given how incredibly deeply work and life are intertwined, why are we limiting the study of burnout to the professional realm? It's equally as important to notice the causes and symptoms as they relate to our physical health, our relationships, our personal aspirations, and more. The World Health Organization says Burnout is a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. It's characterized by three dimensions: feelings of energy depletion or exhaustion, increased mental distance from your job and feelings of negativity around your job, and reduced professional efficacy. Expanding beyond the realm of the workplace, we can define these interconnected feelings as being overwhelmed, feeling physically, emotionally, and mentally drained, becoming disconnected, starting to pull away from our responsibilities, people, and even the things that we love in an effort to guard our time. But instead of bolstering us, this leaves us feeling lonely, uninformed, and unsupported, and powerless. We feel that what we do or the decisions we make matter less and less. We don't feel in control of the outcomes of our actions, which is something that people admit to fearing almost more than anything else in life. So many factors contribute to burnout's ability to take over. In this current season, particularly, the days are getting shorter, leaving us less time to accomplish our goals and less natural light, which is known scientifically to energize and fortify us. Work is busy. Managers and teams are setting ambitious goals to accomplish before the end of the year, which of course we know means before the holidays start in November. Because let's face it, who's getting anything done between Thanksgiving and the start of January? Parents and caretakers are juggling school and extracurricular activities. We're getting reached out to from organizations pleading for donations when there's only so much we have to give. And making plans to visit loved ones over the holidays means considering costs, air and traffic congestion, and the possibility of disappointing someone because we simply can't be in multiple places at the same time. It's a lot. Let's pause for a moment. If nothing else, remember these three things. You are not alone in this feeling, and everything is temporary. Lastly, there are things you can do, and you have resources available to you. Allowing yourself the time to use the tools to care for and steady yourself is the most powerful thing you can do. Believe me, this is not me telling you that you have to sacrifice all of the things that are important to you. This is about taking intentional actions and making sustainable choices that allow you to both understand and live at your full capacity. When you allow yourself to acknowledge where you're at and what you need in order to move to a different place, you're giving yourself the gift of optimism, connection, and energy. Each tip or tool that I'm sharing now is related to all of the other ones. They coexist and complement each other. That being said, I like to start with prioritize, knowing that we have the permission at any point to go back and assess and rearrange our priorities. It may feel like you don't have the time or the ability to change how things are going. In that case, I urge you, take 10 minutes and write out 2 lists. The first includes the things, the behaviors, the connections that light you up, that keep you going, that bring you joy and bring you pride. Some of the first things that come to my mind are financial security, spending time with my family, especially my parents, and discovering the world through my young son's eyes. I also get really excited about efficiency, clever ideas, big imagination, and making people laugh. The second list is all of the things that are currently crowding into your head, vying for attention, time, and bandwidth. Work deadlines, seeing friends, organizing the closet, finding a new job, travel, family, obligations. The list may feel daunting. You can feel free to cut it off whenever it starts to overwhelm you. And maybe you might notice that some of the things you're listing are really small, and don't actually matter in the big scheme of things. As you compare the lists, are you noticing places where what you need to do lines up with the things that you love and value? Bring those things to the top of your list of to-dos. There are also probably things that aren't at all aligned with your values or your passion. Move those down. Give yourself permission to spend more time and bandwidth at the top of your list. Remember, these are still important things that need to get done. Just because you enjoy doing them doesn't diminish their value. And when you're not forcing yourself to push through the challenge to get to that reward of completion, you're able to finish those tasks while saving or even building energy to use as you get to the items with which you don't feel as connected. Next in our toolbox is outreach. This is your encouragement to get support, accept companionship or mentorship. Burnout is not something that you have to face alone. The road to and away from burnout is well traveled. People that you know, people that you admire, have spent plenty of time grinding themselves down before realizing there was more to life than just getting by. And even if they don't have all of the answers you're looking for, imagine releasing the weight you're carrying by sharing how you're feeling. How good does that feel? Articulating your needs not only forces you to think about and prioritize what you want or what you absolutely deserve, but it holds you accountable to taking action if you get it. As social beings, we're wired to derive pleasure from giving and collaborating with others. When you allow yourself to ask for help, to seek out new ideas, to change your plan, you enable yourself and others' moods and self-confidence to be boosted. Investing in finding and maintaining a community of support, whether it's mentors, advisors, friends, family, even pets. I mean, who's more supportive than a dog with unconditional love? Will pay dividends for the rest of your life in ways that are hard to imagine right now. It's ongoing, and it serves our communities as much as it serves us. Next up, boundaries. Saying no is something that I talk about and work with coaching clients, community leaders, and organizations a lot. No is not a bad word. We've been conditioned, especially as women or other members of marginalized communities, to believe that saying yes to any task or request is the only way to get ahead in our careers and in our networks. It's simply not true. Our boundaries reflect our priorities. What are the tasks that will actually boost our professional development? What are the traditions that are most important to make and keep with our loved ones? And what are the ones that cause drama and are not worth the time and the effort? Which are the household chores that impact our health or our ability to function? And which are the ones that simply are ingrained in us because of what we see in the media or what we've been taught by society? Setting boundaries helps people understand what you can and cannot do for or with them. It reduces cryptic conversations and misunderstandings. Why should you spend time that you could be using on your priorities when you're not even sure you're on the same page as the person with whom you're talking? A boundary could be as simple as blocking time on your calendar. It could be a class, a workout, or a shower. Boundaries can also be setting limits on your work hours and reminding your colleagues and your partners when they can expect to hear back from you or get responses to their emails. Can you spend a moment right now thinking about one boundary that would change the rest of your day today. Maybe it's closing your computer while you eat lunch or your snack. Maybe it is deciding not to fold the laundry until the weekend when you have time to watch TV and do something brainless alongside. Nothing earth-shattering. But as we are training our brains to say no to the things that aren't necessary in order to say yes, what really serves us. Finally, we come to regulate. Regulate your body. Regulate your nervous system. Most of us have grown up believing that we can solve any issue using our brains. We believe we can think and plan and talk our way out of anything that's holding us back. However, research is showing, and we are finally opening our minds to the fact that our bodies hold our coping mechanisms, our ability to sit with and process emotions. Our bodies hold generations of wisdom that have been passed down, giving us the strength of everyone who came before us. As we regulate our physical selves, we can more easily manage our fight or flight responses. We can manage the things that challenge or take us by surprise. We metabolize and release fragility and numbness and ground ourselves with care in order to take responsibility and increase our capacity for change, growth, and joy. I want you to try something. Take your forefinger and your thumb and lightly rub them together. Focusing on the sensation and your breathing as you do this. It's been less than 10 seconds, but you may be noticing something. Is your breath slowing down? Are you able to release, even for a second, a little bit of the anxiety about whatever's coming after this? This is one of the many actions that we can take to slow down our mind, regulate our body, and hold our discomfort. As we sit with our discomfort, it has less impact on our emotional state, our performance, and our interactions with others. The best part of something like this is that you can do it anywhere, at any time, sitting in traffic, on a crowded plane, in a meeting, at the grocery store, even a family dinner. Let your body regulate and see how your mind follows. Today, I've talked about prioritizing, reaching out, setting boundaries, and regulating as tools that you can use during this busy season if you feel like burnout or general feelings of blah are starting to creep in. I do these exercises regularly because life is constantly changing, and what was top of mind a month ago or 6 months ago may or may not still be front and center for me. These exercises and tools are the result of years of research and my personal and my clients' lived experience. They are part of the process I use when taking leaders I work with from burnout to blast off. Okay, I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true. When you invest in yourself, when you use tools that give you a solid foundation and processes for staying focused, energized, and inspired, there's no limit to what you can accomplish and how good you can feel. And the thing is, you don't have to do it on your own. It's overwhelming to sit down, come up with steps, and hold yourself accountable. Why spend time seeking out the answers or struggling to create process when someone's done it for you? This is what I do with my clients every single day. Whether they call it burnout or something totally different, I provide them with the support and the tools to dream about a life that they love and to make that life a reality. If you're ready to do the same, I'd love to work together. I'm inviting everyone who watches this video to join Thrive. a group program where we'll go deeper into avoiding burnout, building a values-driven life, and creating a community of people who will encourage and inspire you for a lifetime. I'll share more info about the program in my follow-up to this course. And of course, you can find it on my website. I can't wait to see you there, and I can't wait to collaborate and build a way for you to thrive. See you soon.